So thank you so much for being willing to talk about your experience. I know it's can seem sometimes a little awkward to talk about something like, but it's valuable for me and for others that haven't tried this or maybe are afraid to trust that this is something of real value for them. When they can hear someone's real experience, I think it can show them what's possible. And So I'd love to just ask you a few questions and get your honest answers of your experience. And anything you'd like to add is up to you. Uh, so you started the program. How long ago was it?
In February.
In February, and now it's September.
Yeah.
Um, and you've done a little extra with me, but um, the main program is usually 4 months. Uh, So we're here in Italy at the retreat that some of the participants from the program chose to come to.
Mm.
And so this is a whole extra experience we're having here, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And I'd like to hear your experience with that too. But the first thing I'm curious about is just the program itself. And maybe you could say a little about um, what was going on for you, just a little bit, that made you interested in the program. Um, and then what changed for you throughout that time?
Right. So thank you for having me, first of all. I'm so glad to be here in Italy with you and with everyone else that's in the same journey as me towards healing our traumas and um, coming back to our true self. Um, how did I get into the program? Well, in a in a moment of crisis, I was looking for answers and I didn't know where to look. So after I found out that my boyfriend was staying in the same bed house with his ex. Obviously, I melted down. I didn't know what to do. I felt lost. I felt like I was consistently having the same pattern in relationships. I was attracting narcissist people and I felt lost. So in my depressed moment in the bed, I was like scrolling on Facebook trying to find answer. I don't even know what I was looking for. And then your ad pop up and I was like, oh, this is interesting. Narcissism.
Mhm.
Because it became like very familiar and then I was searching for answers to understand more about narcissism and how that actually impacted me in my life. And then it was just love at first sight, literally. I scrolled everything. I read what was in there. I really resonate. And then there was a video, I think.
Yeah, there was
Um,
the little webinar video.
uh, yeah, which was like tick, 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 tick to everything.
Checked all the boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say yes,
Yeah.
and then I
Then
say
you
okay. Let me just book the call,
you booked the call,
and then yeah.
and when you had the call, did you feel any fear about doing something like this?
As I mentioned earlier, like I was very skeptical.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, my mother, she was like, "Oh, do the tapping to for good wealth, for whatever, so positive affirmation." I was like, "Just leave me alone," kind of thing. But then somehow I was like, "Okay, what?" I had that question in my mind, like, "What if she may be right, or I can actually take something good out of this?" And I was just curious. I
Hmm.
think that curiosity brought me to your program. And then I said, you know what, there's nothing I can lose. I'm already lost.
Yeah.
So I will definitely learn something. And then I said yes. I'll jump. I jumped even I was scared. I was a little bit skeptical, but I liked your energy very much.
Hmm.
which for me was a little bit unusual, I would say,
Huh.
because you were very calm. You contained me so beautifully that I was like, okay, this feels right. Somehow, I didn't know how to explain it so
Yeah.
well at that time,
So you had
but
a,
it
so you
just
had a
felt
strong
good.
positive intuition about it when we
Yeah,
talked. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then the program itself, it's a pretty big commitment. There's a lot of pieces to it. We spend a lot of time together online. Um, what was what was the most challenging part of all that to to take on? Would you say
From the program or from
in the
my
program itself, the material, the things we did together?
everything was challenging,
Yeah.
but it's a challenge that I own. Like I would say, I need to go through this so I can see who I can become.
Hmm.
Because I'm on my journey that I want to be myself and serve the world, but without any masks.
Yeah.
So I need to risk, and one of those risks it was taking the program. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know if I could say something specific because it's a lot of work, it's a lot of healing, but I think if you take ownership of that journey, you're gonna make it through.
Yeah.
That's
What was your favorite part? If there was something that stood out that felt the most helpful, or even the most enjoyable, maybe the thing that gave you the most sense of um, freeing you from pain or suffering in the course of the program. Could you say what that was?
I mean, I like everything. I like the program itself, how it's built. Like, there is one to one, which is great. There is, it's not just great, it's wonderful. Like, I really like the into one to one, where is that deep connection. You stood with me through every single process. I felt seen, I felt heard, exactly what I needed. And then I must also say I never had like a coach, male coach. So
Uh-huh.
for me, it was like, yes, I want to see a different perspective than women
Uh-huh.
coaching and therapist and whatever. Then the group sessions. In the middle of the week, it made me feel like, okay, I have something to do,
Mm-hmm.
and connect with other people that are on the same page as me. And then breathworks, which
Breath work. Yeah.
that was very very deep. Um, yeah, but for me, I resonated much more with tapping. I'm not saying the breathwork. I'm actually discovering more now. I'm going like we had some pretty significant moments
Uh-huh.
where I actually let myself get lost in the breathwork.
Yeah.
It worked a lot. Like I work, yeah. I don't even have words,
Uh-huh.
but for some reason I felt like it's more accessible for me the tapping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still
Yeah.
practicing more and more the
And,
breath work.
and what would you say to someone who's never done tapping, or doesn't really understand how it can help? Um, Kind of in essence, what did it do for you? How does it change anything? How do you experience the change that it can do for you?
Well, first of all, I would say just go and read some stuff so you could understand how the nervous system works a little bit. So and then tapping, it's a tool that helps to navigate the nervous system
Mm-hmm.
and calm those emotions. I'm a very fidgety person, very active.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a practice, and then tapping. It was like, okay, this. Let me see what is in my inner world.
Yeah. So one thing to say is that, like we've talked about before, there's different ways to use tapping, and most
Yeah.
people who've heard of it or tried it or done it online or something see a certain way that it's done that's maybe a bit superficial. um, or is just targeting a symptom or a feeling or a present situation, which is actually still useful, and we do plenty of that. But then there's a deeper way that most people don't understand, and that's really a core part of what we do that really helps things in a deeper way for trauma. Could you say anything about that part of it for you? How it's changed things for you, or how it um, works with that level of pain?
So when I started the program, I had very challenging moments to sleep,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I wanted to fix that because it was affecting my life in general. I couldn't function properly.
Mm-hmm.
And then I took that suggestion of yours, like tapping in at night and then tap in the morning to just regulate those emotions coming from those thoughts, critical thoughts that I had. And so just to calm myself down, like discover where those come from and just acknowledge them,
Mm-hmm.
because all those emotions just want to be acknowledged. Uh, and it worked. It worked. I cannot even say how grateful I am that I found a tool that helps me sleep.
Uh-huh.
uh,
That's huge. When if
yeah,
you've had bad insomnia for a long time, that's really a wonderful thing to find a solution like that.
yeah, and it also helped me like to dive in, because I challenge myself every single time. I dive in even deeper to see what I can find there. Like
Mm-hmm.
I tap about the one emotion, and then oh, this is leading me somewhere else. Let me let me just go and dig
Mm-hmm.
deeper.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I had very pretty good insights, and bringing them up into the light.
Mm-hmm.
It helped me a lot
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
release and
Mm-hmm.
then feel free.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. How would you say overall that you feel today that's different than how you felt when you first scheduled that call with me 6 months ago?
I felt grounded, and I feel like I'm allowing myself to be me and to enjoy life as I feel is right for me. So
Yeah.
I told you so many times, and I'll keep saying it. I'm so grateful for you showing up in my life, and
Thank you.
yeah, it,
I'm grateful that you trusted me and yourself
yeah,
to do such a deep dive. To because it is work. It really is, and it's not for the faint of heart. It takes a lot of courage
yeah.
to do this kind of work. Um, but you've really done that. I respect you for that.
Thank you. But
Mm-hmm.
definitely, I couldn't have done it by myself. And what I would say to everyone out there is just don't be afraid to ask for help, because I was that person like, yes, I'm strong, I can do this by myself. But it reached one point where I was like, I couldn't. It was a big burden. I was grieving a lot, like I was feeling heavy.
Yeah.
And so asking for help, as you taught me, is it's strength. It shows that you have strength in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
To ask for help.
ask for help, please.
Mm-hmm.
Please do.
Yeah.
It's available.
It's available. Yeah. Asking you shall receive, right?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you sharing all that, and so happy to see where you've come to. How far you've come, and I know you're still on this healing journey, but you're well on your way to some really wonderful places.
yeah,
Yeah.
I look forward to discover even more.
Mm.
And yeah, I'm beyond grateful.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you.